Hi everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how I made this super delicious sausage rolls. They are incredibly tasty, very easy to make, and without further ado, I'm just going to get to it. So the first thing I will be doing is to sift my flour. I'm using plain flour, and yes, I've got the ingredients list and measurements in the description box below. And I will gradually sift the flour, and you can actually use your hands, but I don't feel like washing my hands, so I'm just going to beat this until it's done. And after that, I will be adding some spices and seasonings. So I will be adding a bit of sugar, and not enough that it sweetens the dough, but just enough to just give it that hint of sweetness. And I'm also going to be adding a bit of cinnamon powder, which I'm using in place of nutmeg. I'm also going to add a bit of Cameroon pepper, and this is for a bit of heat in the pastry. And I'm also going to add a bit of paprika pepper, and this is more for color than anything else, so feel free to skip it. And lastly, I will be adding baking powder. And now I'm just going to mix this thoroughly, and then I will add my butter. Please be sure to use cold solid butter, not melted, not room temperature, cold solid butter. And I'm just going to mix this into my flour, and I'm going to use my hands for this. My hands are clean, and I'm just going to mix until I get a crumbly texture. And I should mention that I'm using salted butter, that's why I did not add salt. So if you're going to be using unsalted butter, then you will need to add salt. The quantity will be detailed in the description box. And once I achieve the crumbly texture, I'm just going to set this aside and prepare my wet ingredients. Now into this jug, I'm just going to break in my eggs, and I'm also going to add in some cold milk. And I'm going to mix this thoroughly and set aside. Back to my dry ingredients, I'm just going to make a well in the middle, and gradually I'm going to add in my egg and milk mixture, and I'm going to fold this in, and I will mix thoroughly and then knead until I get a smooth and non-sticky dough. And I should mention that if you've got a stand mixer, you can use that for this process using your dough tool. And once I achieve the smooth and non-sticky dough, I'm just going to place this in a bowl, and I will cover with cling film, and I will leave it to rest for about 30 minutes to an hour. Now, while the dough is resting, I'm just going to prepare my filling. So for this, I'm going to be using some pork sausages, and if for some reason you don't eat pork, please feel free to use beef or chicken sausages. And I'm going to remove the casing of the sausage, and like I just did, I will be cutting through each one with a knife, and I will dispose of the casing, and I will do this with all of the sausages. Now I'm just going to season the sausages. I really shouldn't be doing this because pork actually comes already seasoned, and I should let you know that if you're using anything other than pork, you will have to season to your own taste. The beef ones and the chicken I have tried before, and they come really bland, so just a heads up. So I'm just going to break this up a bit, and then I will add some onion powder, smoked paprika, bouillon cubes, black pepper, and some garlic powder. And I'm just going to combine this and move on to the next step. And I'm just going to beat one egg and set aside. That's going to be my egg wash. So my dough has been resting for about an hour now, and now it's time for me to roll it out. But first of all, I'm just going to cut it into 4 smaller sizes, and that way it's going to be more manageable for me when I'm trying to roll them out. So I'm just going to roll it out into some sort of rectangular shape. You can also do a square shape. And then I will clean around the edges using a dough cutter, or you can also use a knife. And now I'm just going to scoop some of the sausage onto the rolled out dough. And you can add as much as you want, but bear in mind that there is baking powder in the flour mix. So that means that it's going to rise in the oven and you don't want it too chunky. And I'm just going to brush some of the egg wash onto the edge of the dough, and this will help with the sealing. And now I'm just going to gradually roll the dough until I get to the end. And now I'm just going to chop it up into smaller sizes, and you can do any sort of size you prefer. I'm just going to do like mini sizes because this is going to help me with portion control. And trust me, you need portion control with these things because they are absolutely delicious. And now I'm just going to arrange them onto a parchment paper lined baking tray. And I'm just going to poke them with a fork, and this will create some sort of steam vents. And now I'm just going to brush the top of the sausages with some of the egg wash. All done. So now I'm just going to place this in my preheated oven. My oven is preheated to 170 degrees Celsius, and I will be baking this for 25 minutes. And after 25 minutes, just look at that. Incredibly delicious sausages all around. And that's me done for today. If you do replicate this recipe, please let me know how you get on. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.